Hi, friends, and welcome to this week's market update. So in the state of New Hampshire, we definitely still have a shortage of inventory, and this is often considered a seller's market, meaning that desirable properties are going quickly off the market and typically for over asking price. In this type of market, some sellers get it in their head that they're not needing an agent. They're tempted to sell on their own. We call these sellers for sale by owners, or FSBOs for short. I wanted to share some information and statistics about for sale by owner properties and educate you about the positives and the negatives, why people might choose that option, and why I might recommend that you don't choose that option. So let's start out. Why would a seller want to sell their home themselves? I have no idea. Just kidding. I do have an idea, and I want to share that with you. So, the Consumer Housing Trends reported that the number one reason why sellers want to for sale by owner is to save money. The same report found, though, that 36% of those surveyed try to sell on their own, but only 11% succeed. So that means that out of every 4 sellers that attempts to sell their house by themselves, only one of them is actually successful. So to me, what happens to those other 3? They've lost time on the market, they've lost money, because time is money, and most of them end up either not selling at all or hiring an agent. So at the end of the day, you're in the same position you were when you started, but lost time moving into your next step. In addition to that, the NAIR, I wanted to mention that NAIR also records this statistic, the National Association of Realtors. They have a much greater data source and database, and they report 8%. They're saying only 8% of sellers sell for sale by owner. So 8% is what? 1 out of every 10 sellers. So it's not a lot of people who are successful selling their home by themselves. Anyway, to continue, in fact, the collateral analytics research found that FSBOs, and I'm going to quote here, FSBOs tend to sell for lower prices than comparable homes sales, and in many cases below the average differential represented by the prevailing commission rate. All right, so without the fancy language, what does it really mean? It means that people are selling for a lower price than even they would have paid with commission. I still kind of flub that up a little bit, but let me try and clarify. The average price of a FSBO is 6% lower than similar properties. This is according to the collateral analytics research. That's the cost of commission, okay? So this means that FSBOs are not saving any money by selling on their own. Basically, they're just taking on all that additional liability, all that hassle, all that risk, really, because there's people coming into their house that haven't been verified. They're not working with an agent. You don't even know if they're pre-approved, and you're just inviting them into your home for no reason. In fact, you could potentially be losing money. So commission rates here in the state of New Hampshire vary quite a bit. So it's possible that you could hire somebody and not even pay that 6% difference. So you might ask yourself, why does this happen? Why would a FSBO sell for so much less than comparable MLS properties? Well, there's a couple reasons, and I'm just going to highlight the biggest 2 for me, or that collateral analytics reported. One, FSBO buyers, so buyers interested in a FSBO, are looking for a discount. They know that you're not paying a commission, so they're already going to undercut you. They also know you don't have someone representing you, and so they're more likely to undercut you on price. And then, in addition to that, sellers that use an agent and are in the MLS, that property is marketed to a significantly larger database, and that leads to bidding wars, which drive the price up. Another point to add. A huge percentage of buyers are using an agent. In fact, that percentage is up to 89%. That means 9 out of every 10 buyers already has an agreement signed with an agent to represent them that involves some level of compensation. Okay? So that means if you're selling it without an agent, those potential buyers, 9 out of 10, may not even look at your property as a FSBO because they have an agent that needs to get compensated. And if they look at your property, one, you better be willing to compensate their agent. So you're saving a little bit on commission, but you're taking a major hit on what you're getting for the property. Or if you're not offering a commission to the buyer agent at all, expect that the buyers will offer you an even lower price because now they have to pay their agent, and they don't do that with properties listed in the MLS. So it doesn't make your property as attractive. All right, so I know that was a lot and I kind of bounced around. I'm kind of passionate about it just because why would you not have yourself represented, especially when we just found out that 9 out of 10, 89% of buyers are representative? You're kind of fighting. It'd be like, and I know people do this too, but it'd be like going to court without a lawyer. There's another lawyer there. It's like you don't have the information, the skills, or frankly, the time and the experience to combat an actual lawyer, just like you don't have the time, skills, and energy to not combat. That sounds fighty, but you know what I mean, negotiate with another professional. Anyway, if you have questions about this, if you're considering being a for sale by owner, I am happy to answer at no charge any questions you might have. At the end of the day, the decision is yours. I just want to make sure you're an educated consumer. So dream big and call me anytime.